National assessment results released today indicate poor numeracy and literacy levels remain major bugbears for the education system. That's despite slight increases in the performance of pupils in lower grades. Grade 9 pupils tested fared dismally in maths, with only 3% of them managing a mark of 50% and above. More than 7 million pupils were tested in grades 1 to 6 and grade 9. Faith Daniels spoke to Education Minister Angie Motshekga and asked her whether she's satisfied with the results.
The better part of the sector is clearly responding. The sad part is there's also that senior phase which is just stubborn and it's not making any progress. So it's good news, but there's also lots of, and also part which is really discouraging in terms of some section which is just not responding to interventions that we thought we had put in place.
You talk about the grade 9 phase now. Are you in crisis mode now with those results because it's very, very poor, especially in maths?
We're in the same, unfortunately we find ourselves in the same space. And it means for your senior phase, we're going to have less kids taking maths and science because they're going to be discouraged from taking maths. So we find ourselves in the same situation that we've been. We are going to find less learners encouraged to take maths and science. We're going to find high schools, again, under extreme pressure to have to make up for the deficits that kids bring with them to your FET phase. So unfortunately, we find ourselves in the same space that we thought we're moving out. In the lower phases, it's very encouraging. It's quite clear that we're clearing up. And the problems that we can't solve grade 9 problems unless we can solve problems in the lower phases. So it means.
But are your interventions working? Is it bearing fruit?
Yeah, I mean, for the mere fact that year on year, both in your junior phase and intermediate phase, you have this steady upward trend because grade 9 problems are your lower phase problems. So the past 2 years, it means the learners were in 7, 8, and 9, which were not part of the ANA. We've never assessed them before. It means we've not done adequate intervention. So where we've intervened directly and deliberately, we can see results.
You spoke about teachers' involvement. SATU this morning told us that they are vehemently opposing ANA in its current form and that they will be speaking to their members in December and January in terms of strike action, possibly in 2015. What is your view on that?
I think it would be unfortunate if they take such steps because for us, ANA is a very helpful tool. It's a very useful tool for us as the system. There are elements which we agree with, which we have been discussing as MECs, and at some stage we even thought, or maybe they overheard what we're saying. As MECs ourselves, and myself and provincial MECs, have really questioned the validity of testing annually the entire a cohort of learners that we have, whether we shouldn't step down and do 369, but we thought also after a long discussion to say, in the meantime, let's continue assessing all of them. So we'll engage with them and give them our point of view. The things that they're raising are things that we've discussed before.